We're kicking the new year off big time in comics. This week, we have some massive releases that we cannot wait to talk to you guys about. We're going to preview them right now here on Pals Previews. Let's kick things off. We've got on the docket for Pals Pulls this week, which you can watch Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, some heavy hitter titles. We are going to be talking about Absolute Batman #4. This is the origin issue, the year one issue with Gabriel Walter joining the creative team. Aquaman #1, Uncanny X-Men #8, Magic #1, and Geiger #10. That's a pretty heavy hitter list.
Yeah, there's a couple of standouts there for me. I think the Walta art kind of being that thing that Snyder's been talking about in Absolute Batman #4 is exciting. I know all of us are Vision fans, right? His work on
Yeah,
Vision. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So whenever Walta shows up, I am usually hook, line, and sinker for whatever it is.
same. A lot of artistry in that. And even when he brings it to other books, it always knocks it out of the park. So yeah, very excited for that kind of prospect. Um, Aquaman,
Ooh.
that's gonna be my jam. It's between that and Magic as like what my pick of the week might be, but I love Aquaman. I think what's gonna be done with the character from based off what we've kind of gotten teased, and some of the visuals that we've seen already, like an extra water kinesis type thing, and so they're playing with powers in a different way, and I love when they do that with Aquaman because it helps to elevate him or change him up a little bit.
You know, it's funny. You said Magic might be your pick of the week. I'm going to tell you why this book exists. There are 20 variants available in this
Woo!
book.
Holy shit! All right, well,
I
20.
mean, the Magic is one of those characters that I think is getting a big spotlight because of Marvel Rivals. In terms of oh god, I almost said normie, or the casual person's perception of the character. Um, so it's smart to launch a book with her. She's got a great design. I love Magic. I think I have her first appearance, and I have those early New Mutants books. And this is the first Magic ongoing ever,
Yep.
hmm,
which is big for the character. So I could see why they want to launch with a lot of variants because also there's some thirsty people out there. But I'm excited to see what we can do with the idea of like Limbo, and she's this woman of two worlds, or three kind of if you add her mutants, mutantness to another section of it. Yeah, so Magic could be fun.
I am trying to figure out now which cover I want. But what we need to decide is which of these books do we predict will be our pick of the week this week?
I think it's gonna be Aquaman.
Hmm.
I'm in the same boat. Haha, wink wink. I typically lean towards #1 for pick of the week just so I can. That's like my biggest recommendation I can give that week is to pick up this book. And I like to kind of give the nod to #1s to help that go along. And I also just like the new. Sometimes the new kind of is a sparkly thing in my eye. Um, and the team on Aquaman could be really freaking kick ass.
John Timms,
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Adams,
Yeah, Jeremy Adams killing it on Green Lantern.
and there's this like small reference to the secret of the green. Are we
Oh
what's
my
getting
God.
played with? Like, yo, I anytime you drop something like that, sign me up.
I'm gonna keep it simple and say Absolute Batman #4. I think that, this book has been stellar. Adding Gabriel Walter to the mix is crazy, and we're gonna learn some things. However, I do have a dark horse. If you guys will indulge me, Geiger #10 is featuring the
Oh,
return of Junkyard Joe, who's my favorite character in that whole like unnamed verse.
yeah,
So I'm seated for that.
You're underselling that, and that makes sense now, though. Yeah, Junkyard Joe's the fucking man, or the robot.
damn,
The
that's gonna
Robot
be
Man.
that's gonna be cool to see. We've been waiting for that to come back for a while now, so very excited to see that happen, and excited that we're gonna be reading it on the show.
Yeah.
And possibly like the first domino to like really expand that Geigerverse a bit more, the unnamed universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally. So Tyler, did you nail yours down?
yeah. Aquaman's fine. I
Okay.
made that boat pun, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No. Hopefully you guys are right. We'll see. Those aren't the only books though that we're going to be talking about on the show because one additional book will make it, and that's the winner of the Pals poll, which is on youtube.com/the Comics Pals under the community tab. You can vote right now for all new Venom #2, New Champions #1, Transformers #16, or the book that is taking it right now, Batman Dark Patterns #2. A Batman book on the poll winning. Wow, shock. But you can influence that and change the way things are going if you go vote.
Yeah, but last I checked, Transformers was winning, so there's some shift going on there. Cool.
Yeah, yes, most definitely. So those are the books that we are going to be discussing on the show. It should be a great time as it always is. Let's talk though about our honorable mentions. These are the books that won't make the show, but that we are excited about all the same, that are on our pull list that we're looking forward to.
I'll start with mine. Mine is Welcome to the Maynard #2. So this is by James Robinson and Jay Bone, who
Oh wow.
has this kind of like uh, Disney-esque um, uh, imaginary friend. What is it? Imaginary home for home for
Foster's Home
imaginary
for
friends.
Imaginary Friends, even though that's not a Disney thing, that's a Cartoon Network thing. All right,
No, no,
the
but
semantics.
like
Yeah,
the aesthetic of that, right? Like
sure.
the look and feel of it is very much in that vein. And this is just a story about a girl named Pip who she is currently a bellhop in training at this hotel that exists in between the folds of reality in San Francisco. And there's all manner of magical or uh, uh, beast that comes through the hotel to stay here, and so she's just kind of existing and taking care and assisting to all of these people's needs. But there's a mystery going on, and the detective who exists at Maynard Hotel has brought her in on the case and can potentially use her help as staff to solve this magical crime. So it's going to be a mini. This is issue 2, halfway through, and I had a lot of fun with the first one.
Who's this published by?
This is Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff like that, like small little romps and things.
Well, funny enough, my honorary mention is also a Dark Horse book. With Dark Horse has regained the rights to EC Comics within no, sorry, this is actually Oni Press. I'm getting things mixed up. This is Oni Press, and they have the rights to EC Comics. And last year they did like Cruel Universe, and they did the horror book as well, Tales from the Abyss, which is like a Tales from the Crypt kind of classic. But this time they're doing a new one with Cruel Kingdom #1, which is a dark fantasy anthology book. And let me just read the names of just issue 1. So writers, we got Colin Bunn, Justin Jordan, Al Ewing, Dennis Culver, and Chris Condon.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, and then art, we have Charlie Adler, Kano, and Leo Max.
Charlie Adler. Wow.
Yeah, Leo Max did that Rogues book for Black Label.
Oh yeah, with Williamson, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was real good.
It was, and Kano does phenomenal work on. I believe it was Apollo, and what's the other one? Midnighter.
Midnighter.
Yeah, Kano's great. This is just an anthology like fantasy book, which I don't remember the last time I've seen. I really like Tales from the Abyss. I've been reading that. It's just one and done, quick horror stories, and I'm curious to see how you do that in fantasy because there's a lot more world building needed. I think, at least what I think on paper. So this could be a fun exercise for these writers, and like it's just a really good creative team that's listed out there.
Not gonna get Jim Henson Presents #1.
Jim Henson Presents is a whole separate thing, Marco. Don't try to check me on this. All right, that's a whole separate thing.
My honorable mention this week is something that I didn't even know was coming out. It wasn't even on my radar. But it's the Lucky Devils #1. This is from Image. It's by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. And if those names are familiar
Oh,
to you, that's because that's the creative team behind 8 Billion Genies, which is a book that I read last year that I thought was solid. So I'm excited to see what those two are going to do together, reuniting this way. Even the cover is very reminiscent
I was
of
gonna say.
yeah. So this one, the synopsis is Lucky Devils is a tale of two rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and the two ordinary 20-something humans they're going to manipulate to do it. A cheeky, satirical look at good and evil, the Lucky Devils explores Faustian bargains and temptation in a rip-roaring, hilarious new way. That sounds like fun. Um, I'm definitely going to give this a try, at least the first issue. Charles Soule's pretty talented, and so's Ryan Brown, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, this looks like a cool new debut series, and because it was so reminiscent of A Billion Genies, I was like, wait a second, has this not come out? Oh, okay, cool. Release start. I wonder if it's a part of the world
That's
because
what I
it's
was
so
thinking.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a huge God Hates Astronauts fan, so put Ryan Brown in something, and I'm interested.
Well, the only thing we've got left to do, and please share your honorable mentions in the comment section, whatever books you're interested in this week that aren't on our docket, put us on, please. Let us know what we're missing out on. But we got a spotlight left. This is the book that one of us wants to put on the front street that doesn't even need to be tied to this week's comics. And today the spotlight is on Marco.
Hello, and I want to shout out Gleam by Freddie Carrasco. So I have this here. Picked this up at SPX. And for anyone who's following my SPX reviews on the Patreon, you'll see that this gets a much deeper analysis. But I was rereading this because Freddie, who, if you follow him on Instagram, is called Fred Bread, and recently just made an update to his website, which includes images from his first solo gallery exhibition in Japan. So he's a Dominican artist, writer artist, who was raised in and grew up in Toronto, and now lives doing art in Japan in Tokyo. And So there's a lot of cool comics with an X leanings into his art, but also takes a lot of thin lines from manga and anime. And this book is a series of 4 short stories. Some of them are all silent, some of them are a bit experimental, some are slightly in color, but the page that you will have no context for anybody here. Um, but it's such a powerful moment in the story for the third story of this is this page that when I came across it in the book, there's a moment that leads to all of this. I had to stop and I audibly said, "Oh shit!" It plays into uh, what these kids have been looking for, and this adult on this swing implicates a bunch of things. And so Yeah, the really cool Fallout and very very cool series. I highly recommend this if you're into more indie comics. But there's some grounding there from an art style.
Awesome. I love how you pointed out, like, a moment that is so big and impactful, right? But what you showed us doesn't look like that. And it's all because it's all what's built to it. So it made me think, like, damn, what what did lead to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it puts
Yeah,
that splinter in my mind of curiosity. So that's pretty cool, man.
yeah, very excited. It's always a good reread. They're 4 short stories,
Marco,
real fun.
is there a publisher for this, or is it
Um,
self-published?
Piao Comics, like the I don't know if you I think you can see it here.
That's gonna be way too
Piao,
small.
yeah,
Peow.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Indie publisher.
Got it.
Pew Studios. Sorry.
Super indie. But
Yeah.
we're super thankful for that spotlight. That's really cool. If you guys have books you want to spotlight, please share them in the comments. We want to hear from you about anything and everything. Let us know your thoughts about this show. And make sure you tune in to Pals Pulls this Thursday to hear us talk about the wonderful books that we previewed a little bit earlier. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
See you next week. Some more little art.